Pound Paw Daddy's BlindHawg Barbecue. In today's video, it's all about smoking a turkey on my offset smoker. I've got a 10-pound turkey, a Kosmos brine kit, and my Goldie's backyard smoker. This is gonna be epic. You're probably already thinking about cooking up a turkey for the holiday for your friends and family. Now, you want it to be special. No, you want it to be extra special. Well, you come to the right place. If you cook it the way I'm gonna show you in this video, then it will be extra special, guaranteed. Now, we need to get prepared. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you got a Kosmos turkey brine kit headed your way. I'll leave an Amazon link down in the description area below the video. Now guys, this is what happened. Kosmos sent me out a turkey brine kit to try, and things will never be the same. It made a believer out of me. So anytime I'm smoking up a turkey for a large group, I'll be using the Kosmos turkey brine. All right, you gotta take that turkey and remove everything from the body cavity. Then you're gonna dry it off with paper towels. Go ahead and try to dry the inside of that cavity as well. Once it's dry, then we're gonna make up that brine solution. The instructions simply call for 2 cups of turkey brine mixed in 2 gallons of water. Well, that turkey brine mix is just a little over 2 cups, so just go ahead and dump in the whole package, and then you mix it up. With the kit, you get a heavy-duty Ziploc type bag that we're gonna use to brine the turkey. And I placed the bag inside a large pot. This just makes it easier to manage at this point. The turkey's going in the bag, breast side down, and then you're gonna pour in that brine mix. Then you want to close up the Ziploc bag. You want to leave it just a little bit open so we can squeeze it and expel most of the air. And then you're going to seal it up tight. The instructions say place it in a large container and then to refrigerate it 1 hour for every pound of meat. Now I'm going to be using an ice chest tonight for mine, so I'm going to be taking it out of the container and just putting the bag in the ice chest and covering it with ice. Now, you want that bird completely covered in the brine solution. Now, I've got this timed out where the 10 hours of refrigeration time is up right before my bedtime. Now, first, we're gonna need to take the turkey out of the brine, rinse it off with water, and then I dry it with paper towels, and then it's going on a wire rack. That rack's gonna be sitting over a pan that goes in the fridge for the next 4 to 6 hours. It's gonna be covered in paper towels. Try to time it where when I get up in the morning, it's gonna be good to go. Now, all this takes a lot of planning, so you see why it's important to think ahead when you're doing this. If you got a big old 17-pound turkey, then that's 17 hours of brine time, plus your drying time in the fridge. Now that that brine part's done, let's get the turkey ready for the smoker. Now, you agreed that you want to smoke the best turkey that you can do, right? I believe that hands down the best method to smoke your turkey is to spatchcock that turkey. Take your poultry shears and cut right beside the backbone, all the way down from one end to the other. And there's one spot where it's going to take a little bit of extra effort to cut through that bone, but you can do it. Now, you do have poultry shears, right? If you don't have them, get a pair headed your way. Now we got it cut on one side, let's cut down the other side, right beside that backbone, all the way down. And then you remove that backbone and you discard it or whatever you want to do with it. Mine's going in file 13, I don't need it. All right, the next step that I'm showing you is probably one that everybody doesn't always do. We're looking at the inside part of the turkey. This would be his body cavity, but we got him opened up. So right near where the neck used to be, there on the breastbone, you want to take a good stout knife and carefully cut through the last 1/2 to 3/4 inch of that breastbone. Now, you don't really need to go through the skin at this point. You just want to split that bone. And this really helps to get it to lay down flat, just a little bit more. This is the correct way to do it. Now, flip it over and press down right there in the middle of the upper part of the breast, and that bird will flatten right out. Now you have spatchcocked this turkey. This is the most uniform profile you can choose when you smoke. Now, my turkey's cold because it spent the night in the fridge. It's a humid day out here, so I need to dry this bird off a little bit more, one more time with the paper towels. Now, we're gonna put the turkey on a wire rack and the inside part's facing up. Here I'm spraying on olive oil. We're using that for the binder. Now I fill my shaker with some of that Kosmos Q Dirty Bird that comes with the kit. You want to season generously the inside part of the dirty. Woo! Yeah. Be sure and lift up the wings and legs. You want to get to those hard to reach spots. Then when you got it seasoned on that side, you want to flip the turkey over to the presentation side. And then get after it with the olive oil and then the Dirty Bird. Give it a good coating. Now when you get it looking just the way you like it, then let it rest on the wire rack while we start up our fire. That turkey can just sit there, warm it up a little bit to room temperature, and it'll be sweating in that rub. Today I'm lighting off one full chimney with B&B char logs. Now these are easy to light with the torch. While that chimney gets going, I'll be putting a few B&B charcoal briquettes in the bottom of the firebox. After about 20 minutes, those char logs are ready, so dump them in the firebox. This will be our coal bed. Next, I'm adding 3 good splits of wood into the firebox. They're gonna be laying parallel to the firebox and they're parallel to each other. We're putting them there in a tight formation. This is what's called a bundle fire. And I'll be running the fire between 200 and 225 degrees Fahrenheit. And the stack damper is gonna be pretty much wide open. We want an open flame fire. We don't want a smoldering fire, but it's still gonna be producing a lot of smoke, but we wanna keep it flowing right through that smoker during the smoky part of the cook. We don't wanna restrict that stack damper. And we're gonna smoke this way for the first 2 hours. And we're gonna be turning that turkey 1/4 of a turn every 30 minutes. You just pick it up by the rack and rotate that rack. If you go clockwise, always go clockwise. If you go counterclockwise, always go counterclockwise. Now after 2 hours of the low and slow, we want to start working that temperature up to the 350 degree range. And as that temperature comes up, well then you can partially close that stack damper. Now at some point we're gonna need to probe up the turkey. Now you can do that when you first start, or you can do it during the middle of the cook like I do. I'm using a ThermalWorks Blue Dot because it's got a big old temperature that can just stick up on the side. I can see it real easy. We want to keep doing the rotation every 30 minutes. When you like the color of your turkey, when it's right where you want it, if it's dark enough for you, then cover it with some foil. This will protect the bird from further darkening. Lock it in when it looks right to you. Now, one thing we need to do is occasionally check those temps with an instant read thermometer. Don't wait until the end of your cook to start checking, because the end may be too late to correct any problems that you may find. Just always make sure that you verify the information that that probe's giving you. Now, I like to pull the turkey at 160 degrees Fahrenheit because the carryover temp's gonna increase up to about 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That's your final spot. So at 160, take that turkey off, and then I'm gonna wrap it in 2 sheets of foil. I've made an X, or you can make a plus. The turkey needs to go breast side down, and we're gonna put a half stick of butter right on top and then wrap it up. Wrap it up good and tight, and then I'm gonna rest this one for at least 2 hours at 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I'm using my Cook Shack AmeriQ electric oven as my resting oven or my warming oven. After that 2 hours up, let's check, see how we did. Now, the Kosmos Q brine kit comes with a bottle of Kosmos Q barbecue glaze cherry apple habanero. Now, I tasted it, and it tasted quite good, but I was a little bit afraid of that back end heat. I thought it might be too much for my wife, so I only glazed half of the turkey. But boy, was I wrong. She loved that glazed turkey. So the glaze is suitable for a general audience. This has to be one of the very best turkeys that I've ever cooked, and I've smoked a bunch of them over the years. Now, you need to look at the brine kit like an insurance policy on your cook. I think you'd have to work pretty hard to screw this up. The brine, the Dirty Bird, and the glaze. It's a great combination that sets you up for success. This turkey's juicy, flavorful, and it may be the best turkey that you'll ever cook. So always plan your cook Write out your schedule for the defrosting, the brine, the smoking, and your hold times. And now all you gotta do is hit that like button on your way out. Please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you next time at Paw Daddy's BlindHawg Barbecue.